Way back in 1956, Angus Wynn Jr. began his development of the Great Southwest Industrial District in the cities of Arlington and Grand Prairie along the newly constructed Dallas-Fort Worth Turnpike. This was to be a massive warehouse and distribution complex to encompass over 2 million square feet of operation. In order to help finance this venture, he envisioned some type of family entertainment center. His first creation was the Great Southwest Lanes, a 32-lane bowling center located near Watson Road and the Turnpike. Arlington Mayor Tom Vandegrift urged Wynn to check out a new amusement park recently opened in California by Walt Disney to see if that is something that might be considered as well. Angus did take that trip and he liked what he saw. He really thought a park like this would work, but it would need a more regional theme, so he began developing the Great Southwest. During that developmental period, it was decided the park should be based on the countries that reigned over the state throughout Texas history: Spain, France, Mexico, the Republic of Texas, the United States, and the Confederate States of America, the Six Flags over Texas. The park opened on August 5th, 1961 to a crowd of a little over 8,000 people. Six Flags was only open for 45 days that first season and drew over 500,000 guests. The new park boasted many firsts, such as being the first amusement park to have a pay-one price entry fee and then being able to enjoy unlimited rides and attractions all day long. Then later, in 1963, Six Flags introduced the world's first log flume ride, and in 1966 built the world's first roller coaster to go completely underwater, the Runaway Mine Train. One attraction those guests enjoyed during that first year is still in operation today and is the last remaining ride from that opening season, the Six Flags in Texas Railroad. The Six Flags in Texas Railroad has been continuously operating in the park since that August day. 53 years of traveling the 1-mile track, over 250,000 trips with over 12 million riders. That in itself holds quite a distinction. However, the history of this railroad goes back a little bit beyond 1961. In fact, it goes back all the way to 1897 and the Enterprise sugarcane plantation in Patouville, Louisiana. The Enterprise plantation was under the direction of Mary Ann Schwing Patou, the daughter-in-law of Pierre Patou, who founded the plantation in 1825. It was Mary Ann who realized the only sugar mills that were to survive after the Civil War would be those that were steam-powered. So she began a mass modernization process which included the purchase of a new steam-powered sugar mill and the installation of a narrow-gauge railway to haul sugarcane in from their fields and surrounding farms. One of the first engines purchased by Mary Ann was built in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania by the H.K. Porter Company with an 040 configuration. The 040 meant the engine had only the 4 drive wheels with no pilot or trailing wheels. The engine was given the name the Lydia after Mary Ann's eldest granddaughter. This railroad moved 220 2-ton cars full of sugarcane and was much quicker than the old way of using horses and mules. The railroad reorganized the way the mill worked and sped up the operation so much they expanded their railroad operation. In 1901, the plantation later purchased an 044 configured engine. This one was a little bigger than the Lydia and was built by the Dixon Works of the American Locomotive Company in 1901. This engine was given the name the Mary Ann. The plantation purchased a total of 7 steam engines and used them extensively until a short time after the end of World War II. By that time, the tracks were really beginning to deteriorate, so they sold all the dollies from underneath the cars and the track and bought trucks that were now more readily available to use instead. The engines were then retired. When the Six Flags Group was designing the park, a train ride was expected to circle the perimeter and treat guests to a great Southwest Railroad adventure. The group found this collection of engines in Louisiana and drew up an agreement to lease 2 of their engines to use at Six Flags. The 2 they chose were the Lydia and the Mary Ann. Both were brought to North Texas and each was restored at a cost of around $50,000 per engine. The first of the engines put into service at Six Flags was the Mary Ann. She was renamed the General Sam Houston after the leader of the Texas Army during the Texas Revolution and later became the Republic's first president. The Lydia began service in the second season and was renamed the Mirabeau B. Lamar after another of the Republic's heroes who was Texas' second president. In later years, the Lamar was renamed the Charles Jefferson Patton. Charlie Patton had already retired from many years of service with the Texas and Pacific Railway and went on to work in the park for 20 complete seasons, from 1962 until 1982. The faces have changed throughout the years, but not much has changed in the operation of the railroad. It operates today much like it did in 1961 and way back when these engines were on the plantation. The only changes are, instead of burning coal or wood, they now burn fuel oil, and headlamps were installed for nighttime operation. But the rest is still the same. So all aboard, y'all. We hope you enjoy your trip around the park with us today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your stay at Six Flags Over Texas.